So most people write their business plan for the following year in the month of December. However, if you no longer look at that business plan.
Hello and welcome. Do you know how to be happy as an entrepreneur? Patrick Bet-David is a successful author, entrepreneur, and financial advisor. His financial agency, PHP, is one of the fastest growing companies in the financial marketplace. Patrick also created and founded his media brand, Valuetainment.
And you sit there by yourself and you start thinking,
which has been referred to as the best channel for entrepreneurs. Do more of what makes you happy is the ultimate blueprint to living a happier life. There are 3 levels of happiness. Most people spend a lifetime chasing the first 2 levels and completely miss the third, the one that lasts a lifetime. The 3 levels of happiness. Pleasure. This is the lowest level of happiness.
To an immigrant, the American dream is the ability to make as much money you want to make
because it has the shortest lifespan. And even though pleasure is the most temporary form of happiness, it's the one we spend much of our lives focusing on. Passion. This second level of happiness usually lasts much longer than the simple pleasure.
Everybody wants to help, everybody's this, and then you realize there's a part of it that some of the people would take their side over you any day.
People are passionate about all sorts of things. Passions can bring continuing joy, but it still doesn't even come close to the highest level of happiness. Purpose. This is the most important level of happiness because it lasts a lifetime. Once you find a purpose in what you do on a daily basis,
to go out there and win big. Keep reading, keep learning, and keep trying new things until one of them becomes a hit for you.
There's a certain high that you experience that no pleasure or passion can even come close to. So what do you do to be happy as an entrepreneur? You spend less time focusing on pleasure and passion and more on your purpose. Do more of what makes you happy, but make sure you don't lose sight of your purpose.
They're not going to know what things you have to do behind closed doors, but you're going to have to cut the fat. And as good as you think it's going to feel when your life changes, I guarantee you.
Look at the commentary of this video. This is not going to be a great video that's going to go viral. You know why? Because it's boring. You're waiting for a secret. You're waiting for me to give you some massive, special, significant thing that I'm going to tell you that's going to change your life this week. No. It's what I challenged you to do last week, which is write out your commitments and follow through with it. Can you do it for 60 months? Because I like guarantees in life. And you know what I know about guarantees? If you stick to the basic fundamentals and constantly improve, adjust, adapt, but stick to that same activity over and over and over and over and over again for 60 straight months, you're bound to dominate your industry. The industry is gonna know about you. You do it for 20 years, the world's definitely gonna know about you. By the way, nowadays, you don't need 20 years. You need 3 to 5 years nowadays, but you do need to show up and do the boring thing every single day. What's the boring thing? Show up on time, early in the morning, leave late, improve, outreach, biz dev, collaborate, sell, communicate, challenge, drive, lead, technology, tracking, accountability. These are boring things you gotta do on a daily basis.
What are some details you can gather about every one of these things? A relationship didn't work. What was good about it? What didn't work? What part of it was on you that you could control and change? Now, I'm not talking about getting emotional and putting, I want to know what love is, or H-Town, knocking, and then texting her back and saying, babe, I miss you so much. I'm not talking about you reminiscing, going back to it. I'm just saying, what was different about it? What can we do different with health? Good, bad, ugly. I ate too much, man. I just started eating so much bread. I eat so much sweets. I became lethargic. I only worked out 2 times a week at best. I don't even walk anymore. I used to walk. I'm not doing it anymore. Why not, right? Spiritual, business, personal development. So then as you're going into this and you're dissecting everything about your business, the following year, now you're looking at 17. Let's just say you found all your mistakes, all the mistakes you made. You said you were going to give up some things and sacrifice, you didn't. You still watch a lot of TV. You said you were going to give up certain things to it, you didn't. You still watch. These are trends. This is what you need. This is all the details you need. This is what's going to help you have a great 17. If you don't mind me asking this, I don't want to have the business you have today because what happened there? And he says, look, I appreciate you asking the questions and I'm going to be honest with you. And he says, I made these 3 mistakes. I was too concerned about what people thought. I stopped doing what was working and I had a bad relationship with the person I was working with. And my retaliation was to slow down. So he says, don't let that be the case. If your vision is so big, don't let somebody, get you to slow down. So as I'm coming up, everybody at the next level, I'm always befriending
people that are a level or two ahead of me, always. I'm befriending and I'm like, listen, this guy's way ahead of me. So listen, what can we do? And then if I passed you, it's pure respect. It's not in your face. It's the whole thing what Conor McGregor says, you know, be cocky about your predictions, be confident in your preparation with your work ethic, and then be humble in your victories.
Yeah.
You beat this person, it's embarrassing. Hey, don't put it in their face. Say, look, I knocked you out, I knocked you out. It is what it is. So if I passed you up, you played a role, we're good, you know, et cetera, et cetera. If you're respectful to me. If we have defamation of character.
I wanted to be a CEO of a large financial firm. I had no desire to want to start my own business. I wanted to stay and be a leader there and then eventually own a piece, equity, all that other stuff. But the company I work with didn't offer that, so I eventually left. There are benefits to being entrepreneurs. There are benefits to become entrepreneurs. An entrepreneur to me is somebody that thinks, works, acts. Everything he does is like an entrepreneur. Everything. People leave at 5 o'clock, an entrepreneur never leaves at 5 o'clock. People get in at 9 o'clock, an entrepreneur never gets in at 9 o'clock. People decide to be casual and take 3-hour lunches, an entrepreneur doesn't take a 3-hour lunch. People decide to go out there and, you know, spend the entire weekend kicking back, an entrepreneur doesn't do that. You know, if somebody wants to one day get the kind of respect that an entrepreneur makes or make the kind of money an entrepreneur makes within a company, you got to act, walk, work, talks, everything you do like an entrepreneur. So one is finding a company that allows you to breed entrepreneurs. The other one is to think like an entrepreneur.